Good evening. I'd like to call this session, we're good, taking correct. Call to session this August meeting of the Wabash County Council. We have a full meeting tonight, and then also we will be moving to budget hearing directly after that. So appreciate your patience with us. If you'd please stand for prayer followed by the pledge. Dear Heavenly Father, we again just express our appreciation for being allowed to freely gather here and discuss the county's business. There's many important decisions that I don't want to discount this evening, but in the light of eternity and decisions we can make whether or not to follow you, help us keep perspective in that. As it's August and school started, we also asked for extra measure of protection and energy for our students, the staff, and the teachers. It's just a reality of the day that most of those teachers are good, positive influences on kids' lives that just don't have it anymore. So we ask for the protection on the buildings, the students, and the staff. In your name, amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we move through the agenda items here this evening, if you have a comment or question, please raise your hand. I'll ask you to state your name for the meeting minutes, and then we'll proceed from there. Because of the full evening activities, we ask that most comments be kept to just 2 or 3 minutes. And we'll go from there. First thing, council, we have is a review of the minutes from the July meeting. Is there any additions, corrections, or a motion regarding them?
Move to accept.
It's been moved by Dave. Is there a second? I'll second. Seconded by Sam. No further comments or questions. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, motion passes 7-0. Next before us is new business in regards to the second reading of ordinance 2025-85-08. An ordinance enacting the county wheel tax and county excise tax on motor vehicles here in the county. I'll first talk to the council and see if there's any, since this is the second reading, we spent some quite time discussing it over the previous months. Is there questions or comments you'd like to have currently about this?
I'll just make a comment for the public that nobody really wants to do this. And our hands kind of be enforced by the state, and with that, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Been moved. Is there a second in support of the motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Mize. At this time, I'll go ahead and open the floor to the public if there's comments or questions. Mr. Dillon,
I will say something just because I voted against it, and I don't want anyone to feel like I'm poo-pooing on anyone here for making this decision. At the same time, I think I have more than symbolic reasons for which I don't like this. In a way, I think that we're kind of chasing peanuts for a problem that's a lot bigger than this. And we're getting a small amount of money that will probably pay for a little bit of engineering. In reality, the state forced it into us, yeah, but they're also collecting the money. So I have some issue with that. I wonder if we're gonna get it all back. I never trust them. I just don't. So in my view, it's more than symbolic. I try to look at that in light of what I think, what I feel, and it's not just my father-in-law would not talk to me if I voted for it, but anyways, it's not just that reason.
That's like.
It's not just that reason, it's
Funny
not
side
just that
there.
reason, I do not support it for those two other reasons. I'm just gonna throw that out there, just for the record. That's all.
No, I definitely appreciate those comments. Anyone else? Just as a reminder, this ordinance is drawn up by the county attorney, will expire on December 31st, 2028. If the council at that time does not, or prior to that time does not extend it, so there's an automatic suspension of it. Versus well, yeah, well, sure, we'll cancel it someday thing, so. No further comments or questions. I'll go ahead and call for the vote on this ordinance number 2025-85-08. All those supporting the ordinance, raise your right hand. Opposed? Passes 6-1. Next before us, council, and I think Sherry's here. Resolution 2025-85-07. A resolution authorizing a loan to finance the Frank Trust drain. Is that correct? Does council have any questions on this, or commissioners, or those on drainage board, anything they'd like to add, or Sherry?
Where is the drain?
What's the location on the drain? This
This
one?
is southwest corner of the county.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Southwest, north of Miss Cinewall,
Pardon?
is it north of Miss Cinewall?
Yeah,
Good.
What's $81,000? I mean, I don't mean to make light of it, but that, how much,
full reconstruction of the,
how far? I mean, quarter mile, half mile, mile?
well, I don't have footage with
I
it.
mean, just a guesstimate off the top of your head.
I don't really know. It's like 3,000 feet of tile. I mean, there's the bank loan in there, the interest on the bank loan. No, I can't figure that in there. There's the, construction project. Plus then we've got engineering fees included in that.
You know what road or what,
Oh,
Property
no, I
is-
didn't bring it down.
okay,
You can go get it if you want it out.
I'm
Maybe
next
like
to
the-
trusses. And I know that there's a sod farm that sprays a lot of water in that area, and if they're having drainage issues, it might be from a lot of water, but I mean, I live right there, so I don't know if I should vote on it. I mean, I live in that area, so I'm not.
It's, yeah, Lee Smith. It's through his farm. Is the majority of it.
And you, as far as the process goes,
Yes.
to remind us as council members, you have had the public hearing, you've sent out the
Public hearing's
notices.
gonna continue right now.
Okay,
We thought it would, I mean, if it would have went through, I had everything stepped. This is the process, but they continued the hearing, so it hasn't totally gone through yet, but when it does, then we're ready. So we've taken bids because the landowners asked us to take the bids first. So those have been taken.
Why is the public hearing
Oh.
still moot? Why is the
Pardon?
public hearing still going on? Is there
Public hearing, we still have another continuing hearing to come up with, yeah. We have some questions for Mark, we have some questions for our contractor. And then, once we get those, we're gonna have another meeting with the landowners.
Do we postpone this until all that's done, so we don't have to come back and do an additional appropriation?
I won't want to do any additional appropriations. We already have the bid.
well, council, we have before us this resolution. Typically, if these pass, then we work with the bank local banks still, I'm assuming Crossroads maybe even, for the finance. It's paid in installments by the landowners or in lump sums.
On the tax. Did you say?
It's a special assessment they pay.
It's just
Some-
reconstruction assessments, what it is, we get the bank loan, and I get the bills, I turn them over to the bank gives me a check, it deposits into the reconstruction of this drain, and then then the people pay their assessment. And
This
here's-
allows, like doing the bank loan, allows the homeowners to spread that cost over a 5-year period.
Reconstructions are spread over 5 years. In the past, you have general drain fund, book the cost of the projects today. As many as we're doing, general drain fund cannot support these projects anymore. So an option is the bank loan. And we've done them for a few years now.
You know, what the interest rate is and.
4 point something when I talk to him, but until we lock it in, I can't say for sure.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nick. Any further comments or questions? Not, I'll call for the vote.
I'll bring up something. I'm gonna abstain on this. Because I think it might be on 550 West. I don't know if I would be in the affected area to where I'd be
You're not in
paying.
the watershed up,
I wasn't sure.
because you would have been given a notice and been attending the meetings if you.
And have a bill.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, I haven't received any of that. All right. I
Maybe,
will not
maybe,
abstain.
maybe your wife did, you know?
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Or my father-in-law.
Or your. Okay,
That's possible. I'm gonna, yeah.
okay, that's what you still saying, too.
I-
Like this.
yeah,
It's been moved and seconded for resolution 2025-85-07. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed?
I'm gonna oppose then, because I'm not, didn't receive a letter.
Motion passes 6-1. We have Purdue Extension.
Are we up here?
Should you?
You can.
It's a transfer.
Yeah.
The reason I'm coming before council is because it's a 3 number to a 2. We did some digging, our printer leases, we had that money, so we're nickel and diming. We'd like to transfer that from printers to ink. So approval for that would be good.
Any questions for Jeff?
Make a motion to approve it.
Moved by Dave. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Nick. No comments, questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Okay. Motion passes 6
I did put a
to
note here to wait till October, not August.
Okay.
Shelley,
Yes.
the number on transfer resolution on the paper is 2025-8508. That's the same as the one on top. Can we change that as the second reading? Or is that?
That's an ordinance,
Okay, just double check.
and that's, you're getting the resolution.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, just worked out the same number. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I didn't catch it. Yeah. Council, we have the review of the certified civil levy limits and circuit breakers. It's a packet showing the different entities and the impact. It's like this, yeah. Any questions here? We review this each year. Just to note it for the meeting minutes. I believe that's still the rule we need to follow, is just to note that we've reviewed these.
Yep.
Nothing needs to officially happen on it.
Good, quick question, how much did this increase over last year?
Our losses were 380 last year, and this year is 6.
Mm-hmm. 4116.
There we go.
4,116,000.
This is from the state,
Um,
I don't do it.
380,
Yeah,
852.
380, 852.
Okay, so it went up about.
For us, yeah.
80,000.
Yeah,
Right.
that's, yeah, census stuff.
Any other comments or questions? Not, we'll go ahead and move to the old business items. What we have before us is the animal shelter and their representation, I believe. Come forward, please.
Okay, I'm Diane Morris and I am now the president. I think the last time I was here, I was the treasurer. Now I'm the president of the board. And this is Jen Castro and she is our manager and the shelter manager. I believe everybody should have received a copy of the audit, which we had done for the year of 2024. And actually it came out pretty good. It took a long time to get done because I've never had to do an audit before. And I wasn't familiar with where everything was, although we did have, I would say 99% of the records that we needed, a couple different receipts we couldn't find, but they were like really old and I just couldn't locate them. But it came out, the overall came out pretty good. The biggest thing that they had for us, suggestions they had for us is how different ways that we need to correct on for what do I want to say? Just recording, different way to record the money and stuff, to make sure that it doesn't just be done by one person, you know, that it has different accountabilities. So we are in the process of changing all that, so we also I think that was the biggest thing that they noted. She doesn't have anything, they couldn't find any paperwork that showed that any kind of misappropriation of funds or anything like that. And I will have to say, as we went through this audit, Doug Bogart, the former manager, that everybody had a problem with, I don't know Doug, I have no idea, I've never met him, but he was an excellent record keeper. I'm telling you, there are records there were, I could find most everything I needed, so it was really I was pleasantly surprised to find all the receipts and everything that I needed, so. He kept it pretty good, and he had reduced his income, you know, his salary down to almost nothing at the end of his tenure there, so. So we are here to request, since we have done this audit. And I also sent, I think, the first 6 months profit and loss statement to you, everybody. It shows that we are $56,000 under budget or over budget, I guess. Deficit, yeah. So and if we would have your money, we wouldn't really be there. And when we need it, we're actually at the point where we are risking, because we are continuing to service the county and we're not getting any money from the county, we're risk losing our funding from the city. Because he was very specific. We have continued, even though we haven't had any money from the county since I think maybe 2022. Possibly. And we have continued to, and Jen has all the stats on how many calls we get from the county. Then we just took in two dogs last night from the county. So we
Yeah.
have to have.
I can touch base a little bit on the numbers. Again, I mean, I know I wasn't really a part of the shelter until 2024, middle of 2024. But just learning kind of a little bit about the history, you guys kind of pulled funding in 2022, so I don't really think much was given in 2023, if anything at all. Definitely nothing in 2024 and 2025. We've still serviced the county to our fullest ability, as they always have, probably even better than before because we have new leadership. Don't want to pat myself on the back, but we have new leadership. We have new board members.
We have 2 ACO
Officers now. It's just a better shelter. It's a more improved shelter, so I know that we're servicing the city and the county better than before. We just can't continue to do that. without equal funding, from the county. We have through dispatch calls, just this year alone, it doesn't seem like a lot, it's 38 calls. However, most people call the shelter directly, they don't normally go through dispatch. And I sit down and pulled our records, and we have 170 animals so far this year that we have serviced from the county. It's probably a little more than that, just because we had some new hires that didn't always put in a location. We had some locations blank, so I really couldn't pinpoint if those were county or city. But the ones that I for sure could, it was 170 animals. That meant there was 170 animals just this year alone from the county that has entered our shelter, and received services from us, whether it was, euthanasia, depending on the situation, spay and neutering, vaccines, getting adopted out, just the boarding while they're there. Sometimes they're reclaimed, most times from the county, I'll be honest, they're not. Usually from the city, we see a lot of animals get reclaimed, but people that want to get rid of their animals don't dump them in the city, they dump them in the county. And then that's what we're dealing with on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
And it's just, we can't continue to do those services and not be funded by the county. And like Diane mentioned, the city is doing their part. And we are putting that relationship and funding at risk because we were told we shouldn't be servicing you guys without any funding because the city didn't want to pay for the county funding. It just, I feel like we've done everything asked of you guys. We did a pre-audit that you wouldn't review. We paid for that. We have now invested almost $13,000 of our very limited funds for this full audit. And if you read the ordinance, it does state that if you guys request that, you would pay for it. But we were kind of at a stalemate with that because you wouldn't budge there either. So we did it. And we're just here today to present all of that to you and then just propose that you really highly consider joining the city, equally to help fund us so that we can continue to service the county. We don't want to stop servicing the county, but we're kind of going to be forced to if we don't have the funding.
And since we have some newer council members and or those in the audience also provided a little context here. Back then, there were some board members, myself included, that were provided reports in the 21 to 22 timeframe that were not very, and they conflicted and they were not representative of even something I would accept from a tax client of mine. So as factual, and so that's where the request began, or the questioning began, coupled with, we were getting quite a few complaints, not necessarily from the public, but from our law enforcement or first responder agencies as far as the service we were getting for our dollars. So at that point, council decided not to fund the current animal shelter until issues were resolved. Also, that said, in the budget this evening, we have charged commissioners, we have a line item for animal control next year. Charge them with getting a plan and an approach for that. Greatly appreciate the audit. Also, now state rules have changed. The auditor can give more detail on it, but anytime we work with a nonprofit, there's certain agreements we have to have signed, certain access to financial records and that sort of thing. As part of, do you have anything to add that?
I can send you a copy of it. It's a standard not-for-profit agreement.
Okay.
So some of those rules have changed too, but so if you stick around later, you can, I mean, it will be in one of the budgets, animal control. I guess does council have anything else to add at this point?
I just say, I'd like to add for the record, if it's true, and maybe this is the time. We own the property that you're using, right? So
Right.
we still do have an investment, cause you don't pay rent, right?
Right, it's a handshake deal,
Okay,
so.
Yeah,
just
the
wanna make,
official contract.
okay,
to my
just wanna make
knowledge.
sure that everybody's aware
Right,
that you're
yeah.
using.
Right,
county
the
property
building
to
was
operate the
built
shelter.
by fundraiser funds that the shelter did. So that's always been like a red tape area for discussion, like you guys own the property. And there was a verbal agreement between, I believe, commissioners at the time that we could use the land. And then there was a massive fundraiser, which we actually found documents about that, where the funds were raised to actually build the building. So, you know, it kind of gets, I'm not an attorney, I don't know, but who owns the building, but I mean, it was funded by fundraisers that the nonprofit did. So that's always like, you know, how
It was,
to do
and it was a
domestic.
nonprofit at that time when the building was built?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it, you know, we'd have to sort all of that out as well. As far as like. Who owns the building? Does the shelter own the the nonprofit own the building? Like, it's really, to me, bizarre that a verbal contract was. Given on such something so important, but you know, that's what happens, so, yeah.
Well, my encouragement, again, appreciate the full audit. I've reviewed it, several other members have talked to me about it. It does help us check one of those boxes, and then the next step here would be for the commissioners to decide a plan. And go forward from there,
Okay.
so.
Well, what we would like to request is we need funded this year. We can't wait until next year. We have, as you can see from the profit loss statement, that we're behind in our revenue anyway, so. We've had more calls because we're more efficient. Shelter, we have many more calls, you know, we have to deal with a lot more things because we take care of it. We do it, but it costs us money every time we send those people out and every time we take an animal in.
Yeah, I mean, we're currently using city-funded AC officers to handle county calls, like, we have to stop that, like, now.
Yeah.
Like, it just can't happen, we can't risk losing the 100,000 that we're getting from the city of Wabash for our ACO. To handle county calls anymore, like, I want everybody to understand that it's not, I hate not being able to help an animal.
Mhm.
I wanna say yes to the people that call from other counties. But I don't because I can't. But I literally lose sleep at night because I'm like, I know this animal's in need, but I have to say no. And it'll be the same situation when it's in my, you know, our own county, when we have citizens calling, you know, because they have a stray dog on their property, or they found a stray dog or an injured cat, or whatever the scenario, we get it all. We're gonna have to tell them no, and they're not gonna be happy, and they're not gonna be happy at us, and then they're not gonna understand why we're now telling them no, but.
So we thought we would give all you guys'
We
phone
would
numbers
just-
to them. And say,
I did not say that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
All of ours are on the website.
Right.
So,
Contact.
and they
But
do
in
call.
all seriousness, that is gonna have to be our response, is this is why we are now saying no, and we're sorry, and this is who you need to contact about it. We just want you guys to understand that, because we just.
And that's an acceptable consequence for us, but at the same time, we'd like the commissioners to develop a plan,
Yeah.
even for the 2025 funds.
Well, I mean, you guys have done everything that you needed to do. I think the audit was a great step. I think you're going in the right direction. You're going in a much better direction. You keep continuing on a better direction.
How much?
At the same time, without an additional appropriation request, we can't act until there's something that prompts us to act. So they can't act out of turn. So there has to be something given to us to say, will you act on this? So if there's no formal request from the commissioners to say, please fund this year, we can't legally do anything until we have
I
that.
thought they were supposed to.
It's in the budget request.
Yeah.
It's in the budget request.
It just seems like when we come to you guys tell us to go to the commissioners, we go to the commissioners and they tell us to talk to the council.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of confused on who we talk
The
to.
audit, I think, under the rules of what the original arrangement was, the audit has been complete. And under my understanding, that should be able to prompt them to begin discussions.
How much of the county do you cover? Is there any parts of the county you don't cover?
Manchester City.
Manchester City,
They
because they
contract.
have a contract with Kosciuszko County, to handle their animal.
We do the
situations.
county,
So
anywhere in
we
the
do
county.
and this stuff, yeah.
Well, you're still covering north of the town.
Yeah, yeah.
It's part of the county.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions this evening for them?
Yeah, on the commissioner's agenda next night?
Pardon?
Would you like to be on the commissioner's?
Yes, I would.
agenda next time?
If that's what we need to do, yes, I would like to. Thank you. Right.
Appreciate you coming in with the update.
Thank you, guys.
Is there anything else to come before council this evening in our regular county council monthly budget or monthly meeting? Not that, I'll go ahead and adjourn. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
We got that adjournment on the record. I'd like to call back from recess the 2026 budget hearings workshop.
Restart involvement.
Where you can probably start at the very beginning again.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, council, we've been working through these numbers. We started just as, to give an update. We were in need of cuts of removal of about $4 million from general fund this year. We've made substantial progress on that. I believe maybe. How would council like to proceed? Yes, and if you can't see, feel free to, you can pull your chairs out of aisle, stand up, walk to the TV, that's completely fine. Cause I'll be squinting also, so.
You can show.
So in years past, council, we just started at the top, gone through everybody's budget to allow some of the department heads to see the changes. And then circled to the deficit or needed cuts. And reviewed a checklist or suggestions. We've taken notes over the course of the last couple of days. Is that an okay way to proceed, or I'm up for other suggestions too?
It's fine by me.
Okay. Oh. So we will be going through our book order, which is definitely not alphabetical order, but it's our book order for us. First, we have clerk of the circuit court. If anybody's in the audience and has questions about a change we've made, please just ask, or I'll try to recognize you and have you ask. In this budget, there was 2 deputies working a total of 5 days. It was expressed to us it would be 1 deputy working 4 days. And so we made that 80% adjustment of that payroll count. There's nothing else here. We'll move on to the election board. After some discussions and also a discussion I believe Mr. Dillon had with clerk.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Well, how much was removed?
I thought there were 24. Was it 2,000?
2,400.
You're just removing 1,400 from it. Is that right?
She correct.
Cheryl. It was 1,400 for the.
That's what you
Display.
Display. We have the displays, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we can update that now to a decrease of 1,400. It's an election year, so this account greatly varies from a non-election year. So you can see some dramatic increases, but that is why.
What's the 7,000 for professional services for?
That's for like microphones. All right, no, I'm sorry. That's for movie coding equipment. Check that.
Thank you.
I don't think that was a change from last year.
No.
Probably not a change from an election year, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for like, Giving voting input.
Typically on a non-election year, they budget nothing. So,
There's a little bit in there.
It wasn't even last year, or this year.
We'll move to location 19, voter registration. Council has not made any adjustments here. 1119. It's also, sometimes I pause just to let the department head review very quickly, but we can get you a PDF copy of your budgets also with the auditor's office. Move on to the 4D. No council adjustments here. Anything for the clerk? Or her budgets? Moving to soil and water. We did not make any adjustments here, and again, another disclaimer. For those in the audience, COLA this year was, our cost of living increase adjustment was 2.5%. So after our personnel committee met, we felt like that was an adequate raise. I have seen now several entities, public government entities giving zero raises, and we have been in that boat before. So I'm not saying that to bash them at all. So just pointing out where there's the 2.5, why this is per pack. That's our personnel committee. So. Okay, we'll move to the prosecutor's budget. We have location 08 first. There's during the calendar year of 2025, we did a wage study, tried to locate groupings of individuals with similar tasks. It was hired, done by professionals, not just us here in council or the commissioners. They came back with a report. Through the report, there were certain weaknesses identified, and so I believe this would be the first one. You'll see several others where there's small adjustments to wages to get them in line with similar described duties.
Under prosecutor.
Under prosecutor.
Huh?
Go ahead, sorry.
Under prosecutor, I just happen to notice there's $4,000 in postage and fees. None of it has been spent.
And with the prosecutor, he typically, in the time I've been here, does not adjust those items. And what he does to deal with some of the fluctuation in pricing is in these months from now till the end of the year, he does a lot of transfers to cover some of the other shortfalls rather than necessarily adjusting his line items, which I'm okay with. So I believe that postage may have been the same for the last 10 years. Moving to his 4G. No changes there, so we'll move to the pre-trial diversion 2501. A discretionary fund for the prosecutor. We made a small change here, more of a clerical issue than anything. There's nothing further from council or the public. We'll go to the VSO position. And as a reminder, we lowered the office equipment, believing that there's funds available currently as well as the device. I believe this was actually a pin pad device, but other device as well. So nothing there. Go to the treasurer. No current council adjustments. Any comments? Solid waste admin fees. $11.94. For handling the solid waste fees. Administrator them, the treasurer receives a portion to help. We apply it towards the mailing of tax statements. Mostly. Nothing there. We'll move to the commissioners' budgets. Location 29 first, please. Some of these larger budgets, I'll pause for a moment or two to let everybody get their bearings.
You were in 29.
Yeah.
Should we try boards at court, another 200?
For now, I think we're gonna
Leave it.
leave it until we go back. We've made some adjustments here, for some of the benefits.
So the slight adjustments we've had for the wage study stuff, we've compensated here in the FICA per so.
We overcompensated at the advertisement. Now we're decreasing its actual.
Right, yeah. I just can't see it from there.
Red means down.
Yeah.
The commissioner got anything there?
Ranking not like next year. Sure. I should have used a tablet that I never use. Yeah.
Next, we'll move to the courthouse complex, location 32.
Oh. Yeah. You did the lawn care, right?
Yeah.
No, we did the
Snow
snow
removal.
removal. It's we do snow removal.
Right. Sorry.
Yep.
And HVAC repairs, right?
You're supposed to.
We don't need snow. Didn't want to do. There was a desire here to make to get ahead of some major repairs on some of the buildings, but at this time, we felt it was more fiscally frugal to postpone those. So. Any questions or comments? Feel free to take a picture of the screen too, if you're here tonight and you want to just snapshot it and look at it while we talk.
We left the boilers in the courthouse painting in, right?
The painting is in the 80 above, the painting and the Atlas. Finish some of the
Right.
accessibility concerns.
What about the 411 250? We changed, I can't see the screen.
Yeah, we deducted that. Took it out.
We took it to 25% of that total. So it was about I'm 308.50,
18?
308, 250.
a decrease for a total expenditure or a total of 103,000, Dave,
Thank you.
for budgeted. Other questions? Gonna eat it next.
Line number 31182, Grow Wabash County. You can see it. I'm not comfortable with an 85,000 in there. I think we need to adjust that down to a lower number so that the commissioners have a goal to shoot for and renegotiating the contract after Senate Bill 1 and the amount of projected to be a lot lower with the new scorecard.
Would you have an advisement plan for them if it would exceed that 50,000?
There's money in professional services from the commissioners, I'd like to move the number to 50,000. And then, what ends up getting negotiated, depending on where it's at, they could pay for it out of professional services contracts. Or they could come back for an additional appropriation.
There's support for that opinion?
So
The only thing is, I mean, since they're all broken up, line by line by line by line by line. The commissioners have the ability to spend less than what is budgeted. They can't spend more. That's the only caveat on that. So if there's.
Or within inner lines, so they wouldn't have to come to us.
And
I'm
fine with that. I mean, this
Either
is what I mean, when I brought it up before, this is why I hate the line by line. This goes to this place, this goes to this place, this goes to this place.
See, I kind of like it because I know what their plan is a little bit then.
I know. I hate it because I feel like we're micromanaging the whole.
Well,
I don't really wanna, I hate doing that, cause
well, in this particular case, though, this is an auto renew contract that. My personal opinion never should have been signed. Everybody else has to come and say, this is what we did with the money, this is what we want, this is what we accomplished, this is our goal. And that's not the case here, and like I said.
Well, they do that though, Dave. That's the thing. They do report. I mean, they'll come as often as you want. They do
I
report. and they
understand
have
that, but the
reported. I think-
contract automatically renews. Regardless of what they report, and I just think that needs to go away.
We have to have an economic
I
development, and
understand
that's
that.
that. So I'm
I'm
not
not-
supportive of it decreasing. I mean,
Okay, well.
they do a lot of stuff. I mean, that's fine. That's.
At the end of the day, their services are gonna be less because of Senate Bill 1. You got $2 million personal property tax. So that's gonna take away the economic tax abatement demand significantly. And it's up to the commissioners. They can negotiate what they want. I'm just not comfortable leaving that $85,000 in there. I'd like to set a goal a lot lower, and then they can sit down at the table and figure it out and go from there.
I'm comfortable with whatever the commissioners come up with. But eventually contractually coming up with.
What's
If it's
at this point, what are the commissioners' thoughts?
I don't think we'll have a problem with going to 1 year contract where it could be negotiated at that time.
Sure.
That's my thought too.
So leave it and then you guys negotiate.
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the way. There's services they provide that we will need. But yeah, if it goes to a 1-year contract, then we can negotiate that at the end of each contract for the next year.
And I believe, I don't want to speak for Dave, but one of his concerns would be, making sure that the negotiations in good faith, and you just don't say, 85,000 is it. Correct, Dave, you would,
I'm not advocating getting away from their services. From what I've seen, they do a pretty good job, but I just see it's budget time. And with the new scorecard, I support all the entities, Manchester, Wabash, all using the same card. I just feel like leaving $85,000 in there makes it look like we're willing to just keep paying that even though we're getting less for the money. So if we, and I'm just.
and right now I've got a mixed board, so I don't know if Gary or Sam, you want to speak up and.
My thing is, I have faith that the commissioners we have in their seats right now can negotiate better price. But also. This isn't going to affect the general fund either. Correct. So. I mean. Leave the money where it is, let them do their jobs, and then if we need to move that, or if they need to move that within that fund. To support something else in the county, then they can do that.
Well, I want to make a caveat about this fund itself. EDIT funds, economic development, income tax funds. A lot of people will say. We don't like you spending the money on private entities, and I understand that, but we're taxing everybody that gains income in Wabash County for these funds, and if we're not willing to stop taxing people their incomes. Then we either need to spend this stuff or use it on things that needs to be, anyway, we either need to use it on stuff. For economic development purposes, or we need to use it for bridges, roads or whatever, but I mean, we either need to give it back to people. If we're not gonna use it, or we need to use it for things that we need to use it for, whatever the intended purpose was.
Well, I think it's
I'm just
Senate Bill 1, there, in 2 years, it'll be used. So.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the thing that bothered me and the reason I brought this up tonight, cause we kind of talked about this yesterday. Look at everybody else that we cut, and this one didn't get cut. We cut, you know, and I get it, all the money comes out of different funds, but we cut a position out of the health department. There was a lot of painful discussions. And to just put this in there and say, yeah, you know, if somebody wants to suggest a different lower number than 85,000, I'm fine with that. I'll modify my motion, but I just think leaving 85 in there is sending the wrong message.
You gotta think about the tax dollars that they're bringing in, Dave. Look at the project just on 13, the 2 big factories that are now new. There's construction happening in the industrial park. You know, their job is to attract business to us, and I think they've been doing a very good job at that lately. The industrial park in Manchester has 2 new things in it, all because of them trying to get people to come to Wabash County, and that's worth $85,000 to me. I mean, look at the things that are happening. I don't know that you've heard a annual update or gone to their meeting. They're doing things, and that 85,000 isn't that much to get that stuff here. The tax dollars that we're bringing in just for the 3 or 4 factories up here on 24 and 13 are gonna be more than that. So I
And
think
in 2019, when this started, they needed the 85,000. Now they have all these private investors who have no idea how much money that they're taking in, but they're still getting 85,000 from the county. And after Senate Bill 1, it looks to me like the level of service that they're gonna be providing to us as in the economic or tax abatement area is gonna drop
that's
significantly.
only a small piece, Dave.
I understand.
It's the
I
attraction and the cooperation with other counties.
Gary,
I
do
mean,
you have
it's-
anything to add at
it's-
this point?
I feel that the commissioner's handling it. I mean,
I guess that's 4 now, let's express that. There is a motion in second, Forrest, but I did have a comment. from the
I
public here.
just have two comments, Cheryl Ridgway, two comments, and one is, with Grow Wabash, I feel like because our tax dollars, it's been 85,000 go toward it, that I am an investor, but so many times they have a roundtable and they'll bring in Senator Zay, or they bring in Representative whoever, and it says investor member only. And I think that's a slam to the rest of the community that might be interested in going to that meeting. When there have been open roundtable discussions, I've gone to a couple of those, probably 5 or 6 years ago. But as far as the ones they have where they have the, our state representatives come in and then we're not invited, or Rudy Yakum, I think he was here, and it said members only. Well, as a taxpayer, I feel like I am a member.
So Neil, I'm gonna put you on the spot since you're here. Do you have any comments or counters to that or reasons or
Just to that discussion.
whatever you want to say tonight?
We've never turned anyone away.
Well, yeah, but when you post it that way, that's pretty much you're not really invited.
Yeah, that's a.
So my second comment was, to you, sir, Mr. Mize, a lot of the things that they have brought and that you mentioned, the public it has not been a positive for the public. Ask the people who live at Cloverleaf about the chicken manure factory and how they feel about that. And carbon capture. I listened to those meetings. I couldn't attend, but I listened, and I heard the man from Vault or Poet thank Grow Wabash. Ask the people who showed up to those meetings and filled the auditorium remarkable how they feel about carbon capture. And if Grow Wabash is pushing that, I don't think they're representing the majority of the county and how the county feels. Solar, they were pushing solar. And a lot of us have to spend private time and money to fight the things that our tax money is bringing in.
So Neil,
So if they
I'll
have
give
to
you,
come every year, it would be nice that they get some feedback.
Neil, I'll go ahead and give you back the floor also. If you, couple minutes is max, but
Yeah,
yeah.
a couple minutes. I'll go back to the return on investment. Every dollars we spent in economic development in 2024 was an $1,800 return just on investment last year. We've had two record-breaking years of business investment and job growth. Our per capita personal income has increased 43% since 2017, since Wabash County was formed, which means our individuals in the county are increasing their wealth. We brought, I'm gonna give exact numbers actually, if you'd like. We brought 807 new jobs since 2017, since Wabash County was formed. And just this year alone, which has been a slow start to the year, we've had welcome 10 new businesses that we've worked with, of which I have not heard opposition on any of these businesses from this year. We've had a plastic company, we've had a physical therapist, we've had a new regional headquarters. We just closed on what will be the biggest investment, we'll close on an option for what could be the biggest investment in Wabash County's history. The tax revenue that the county will receive alone would pay for Wabash County's 85,000, which is a reduction from this year, this year to next year by $10,000. We paid for again and again. My job is to bring wealth to the community and bring revenue. So I can assure you it's a good investment of your money.
Can I ask a question?
Yep, most certainly.
What portion of your budget is the 85,000 from?
So we are
County.
a little, so we get fee for services from the county, the city, and the town of North Manchester. So you are proportionally, the county right now is paying 95,000 this year. Proportionally, the city pays 100,000 and the town of North Manchester pays just 25,000 based on population.
And how much do you take in from the members?
Chamber side, so we're two different entities. So on our foundation side, which does the economic development, that's government funded. On our alliance side, that's a chamber side, so that's 200,000 in chamber membership.
Thank you.
So. An event side, I should say.
Yeah,
Just my personal feeling, 50,000, that's a pretty severe cut. I would not be in favor of making that big a cut in 1 year.
And what I've gathered from the board here, at least four, I think it's best to leave it the same.
What he's comfortable with.
You can ask him what she said.
What would you be comfortable with?
Well, I think that's what we need to come from discussion with the three of us and go Wabash County.
And also you appoint a member to my board too, so they see all my financials, they see all this information, you guys have a representation from the county on my board. That's part of our future service, is that you do have representation and see it.
Maybe somebody from the council needs to be on there.
So,
Hmm?
Tyler Nichols on there, it's the one that was wanted.
Yeah, he's a commissioner on city council. Well, at this point, I guess I'll just withdraw my motion and leave it up to the commissioners and trust in them. You know, it looks to me like we're paying about a third of their budget.
Any other items here? Yes, ma'am.
I first felt like we were intruding on this until I saw the, animal control budget for next year at 25,000. With all due respect, I just want everybody to know that that is nowhere near what we would need to service the county. And if you guys think that that's all you would need to do animal care and control, I just want to caution you, it costs way more than that. I don't know how you came up with that number.
That's what was presented to us.
By who?
That's what is presented to us in the budget. That we did not adjust anything on the budget for animal control.
'Cause when we talked to you guys previously, we had told you that it would have to be like a minimum of 100,000 to match the city. And kind of all of you were like, yeah, you know, we understand that's what it takes. We looked into other shelters and what they, you know, what they take in.
Mhm.
So it surprises me to see 25,000.
Did you guys come to the commissioners for your budget? Or
Pardon?
did you guys talk to the commissioners about your requirements?
You know, we haven't talked to the commissioners, since we.
Since the last time,
Right.
yeah, cause you guys requested all this stuff that we have now done, and then I feel like we're still not moving forward. But that's an alarming number, and I mean it with all due respect, like, even if you guys were to not contract with us and try to do something on your own, I can promise you that you're not gonna be able to do it for $25,000. I've been doing it since July of last year, and that's not feasible.
Can I interject something here?
Sure.
Doesn't say animal shelter, it says animal control.
Sure.
You just showed up with your audit tonight.
Last month.
What's your
It was
question?
last month.
It's not a question, it's a statement. You know, this is the second time we sat through a presentation and there was never been a formal request for 100,000 to the commissioner brought to the council.
I think that there has
The
been.
last time we
Yeah.
talked to the commissioners, we had talked about.
But you hadn't had your audit done yet, and that was one of their
Right.
stipulations.
So can you change this?
Is that amount can be changed or not?
It can be changed, but it's still, I mean,
Somewhere else.
it's discretionary spending on the commissioner's part to pay it out. We can set whatever number in there that we want, but it's still up to them to spend it.
Save the money.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah,
Just
and I
being
just, I
honest.
would like to also say, like, every time we have come before you, you guys have said, and even the commissioners, I know there's a couple new commissioners now, prior commissioners,
Mhm.
I mean, we were always told, well, we have money set aside for you, we have money set aside for you. We've never seen it. I don't know where that's at now or where it got put, that's neither here nor there, but it would be nice to, like, for us to work together, so that we can continue servicing the county without interruption, but we just can't do it if we're not gonna be funded, and I just felt like I wouldn't be doing anybody a service if I sat here and didn't mention that number is nowhere near what it takes. And I know you said it's just animal control. What is animal control to you? Like what, if you had to
Whatever the
define?
commissioner, whatever the commissioners decide that they want to spend it on,
There's,
you know.
there is an ordinance in place, I know.
Yeah.
I think that would detail most of that, but.
Well, we're about 1/5 the way through all the funds here tonight, so I'd like to keep moving out of respect for everybody's time.
Yeah.
It's waiting towards the end, so again, just,
Just one more, so if the commissioners come back and get a different number, the council can accept that and go forward.
Yes.
depending on the timing of how it all works out, there's certain.
Timing.
I mean, we have to advertise certain things appropriately. We have to make sure a fund doesn't require an additional appropriation request versus a transfer request. So it all depends on how they handle it, how it's presented, how they decide to proceed. So
Fine, for next year's budget, what's the deadline? What would be the?
This is it, because you're talking about the budget right now.
No, you need to present by July or June or July. When do they, for next year's budget, when do they need to present? Is it June or July?
They had to present.
typically presentations are done to the commissioners around June or July of a year to get it to get commissioners to develop a plan for into the budget.
Yes.
That said, I mean, there has been extraordinary circumstances where even during 2026, they've allocated money within their funds that may not have been budgeted ahead of time.
Yeah, would that come from the like seed it?
That's where we're currently at, is they changed the name from Seed It to Eat It, but yes.
Okay. So is that something we can ask for this year?
You're more than willing, yes, you can ask the commissioners. Yeah,
I mean,
you can make a request of them at any point.
Can they officially do anything this year?
Yes.
Yes.
So will we be on their next meeting on Monday? On the agenda?
There's not a meeting Monday, right? It's the
Labor Day.
first and third. of the
First and
month.
third.
First
so
and
the
third
next
Mondays.
Meeting will give me on the agenda.
September 2nd.
Oh, it's Tuesday because of Labor Day.
That's what I got.
Next council, we have Cume Cap.
Before we move. She said 95,000, it's still 85,000.
Not the year before.
The year before, they had 95,000.
And Tennille mentioned the contract was 90. So we're already given less than the previous contract.
Okay.
Right.
I honestly don't know all the facts here. 10,000 less than the 2025 allotted amount, but you alluded to 90,000 being the contract amount, and I don't know where it landed. So the 85 was submitted to us.
Cause that's the contract we had. She emailed the contract yesterday. That we don't have a signed copy of. That we're researching it today, I mean, I don't have a signed, and they submitted when they submitted their payments, it was for the 85, so I didn't know that we didn't have a current one.
Okay.
So we're looking into it right now.
If we've signed something, we will hold to what we signed. Sorry. Cume Cap. We made no changes here, council. Moving to A action. Or action.
Actions. A action.
I would say A action.
That's A action. Action. That's a.
Action, yeah.
Moving to. Recorder. Location 4. Did I skip something?
No.
Recorder.
Yeah, I skipped
You said 8, okay.
Part-time hourly has not been used recently, so we removed it. Go to 1154. There's no questions here. It's a special fund outside of county general. Along with the next fund, which would be 1160s, the protection fund. And the 1189 perpetuation. All these last three funds of the recorder are outside of county general. And typically are fee-based and revolve around trying to maintain the records appropriately. And service them with software.
Does he have it?
Yes.
Okay.
Next, we'll move to planning, location 22.
James do it. No,
Yeah, we did.
we did.
Yeah. The wage study.
Oh, there's a minimal amount. Minimum amount, I guess, not minimum. Minimum. And then his 1207 unsafe premise fund. Move to the surveyor's budgets. Location 6. There were some subtractions here. It was discovered recently also at an auditors convention that in certain circumstances, the county needs to have a clothing policy in place because it's a taxable benefit to the employee. At this time, we do not have it described to make the state happy. So we removed it from this fund. It is on the commissioner's list. There's also vehicle usage that can become a taxable event outside of work hours. So we're having to review that policy as well. In certain circumstances.
And then we
Go ahead,
did,
Sam.
we did decrease the drone license and the drone amount. And we think you can pull that from your perpetuation money instead of the general fund.
This year even.
Yes, yeah,
Like right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move to the drainage board, location 24.
Up there, legal services.
Yes, Sherry, we decided, we were hopeful that the one-time event may not be an every year event, so.
The one time when we went.
For legal contractual attorney where you had extra attorney bills this year, was the adjustment reason there.
So did you say that everybody's extra part-time help out?
As long as it was-
Several
if it hadn't
that,
been
yes.
used, if it hadn't been expended, yes.
Yeah.
Something we've had for a long time.
The auditor plat book, 1181. On the deputy in this one, because of the wage study, there wasn't an adjustment up here, but it wasn't as much as requested overall. So you'll see a decrease in that column and I realize it's paid out of multiple budgets, so it's hard to do the math right now, but
That's just the reasoning.
41,292 total.
For now.
for now, yeah.
That salary will be 41,292 total. You add them both together
Okay,
instead of the 40.
you said it'll be over 41 now.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
41,292.
Okay.
But to keep it, the hours. We bumped up the other fund that she's in.
Okay.
To keep it even.
$1202. Location 27, back within the general fund, the GIS budget. We went ahead, Sherry, and left a full amount for the Kogo tools. Do you think? We've discussed it, you and I don't quite remember. So we are talking line item 3162.
Yeah, you left that, but you reduced the Schneider support.
I know, so we haven't made technically any adjustments to this budget.
The ones in column
That's
K
from the year
are from
before.
last year, yeah.
But
That's
the question was raised, and I don't know if it's pronounced Kogo or what, but Kogo tools. Do you believe your office will use that? Okay, we've revisited with the auditors and currently she's with her staffing, she doesn't know if she'll use it for sure.
Okay, then I can get the amount of what that would be if you don't want to have them.
That'd be fine.
Now, everybody else that basically draws in the county, we have our licenses.
Okay. That's on me for forgetting to ask that ahead of time. Anything while we're on your budgets, Sherry, before we move on? Move to probation. Brian was unable to be here this evening, but Kimberly is in the back. There's questions. Honestly, she probably knew the answers better than me, so
Fair.
that's fair.
Again, we did reduce part-time security a little bit more, just because halfway through the season, we haven't spent a lot, we haven't even spent half yet. So, that should get you through one year.
And if you guys get that door installed before the end of the year, we won't need any.
That's right.
Correct.
So,
Which,
That's on their list.
yes,
We found funding.
We actually found funding for the door.
Even though I think the guy should probably still be around.
that's actually part of the old jail project, so November, maybe we can get that pushed as the beginning instead of the end of the project.
Next, we have quite a few user fee funds outside of county general. Start with 2,100, the adult. To my knowledge, I don't believe we made any changes to these user fee funds. So I don't want to rush through them, but we'll go to move to the juvenile. In recent years, probation's done a good job trying to budget as much as possible as of the expected revenue. Each year, keeping low cash balances to help out county general, so. Alcohol and drug, 2510. Drug court, 2511. $2,000 for the adult admin fee. And lastly, the juvenile, which does not, I believe, have a budget because of cash balance concerns for this year. Okay. Kim, do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
Thank you. Next, we'll move to solid waste.
Did we change the salary, cause it's got 5% in here, we did, didn't it?
Yes, yeah, they've been just down to the county suggested 2.5. And on their board, Nick, is, I believe that's you. Do you have
Yes.
anything specifically or?
No, not at the moment, thank you.
Okay. Next, we go to the Public Defender Board. Location 34. There was a request in here to increase public defenders. Contracts by 10%. We adjusted downward to 2.5. Yeah. Council's budget. Location 30. In anticipation of the wage study that wasn't completed until recently, council budgeted an amount in here to cover wages as we made adjustments throughout different departments. Those adjustments went into the specific department, so we removed it here. No questions with council's budget. We'll go to central dispatch, statewide 911. Sandy is here back in the back, council, if you have questions. 1222.
I have a question.
Yep.
Is she allowed to move money back and forth between these funds, or does that have to stay in each line item?
In the 30,
Within the 12/22 days, she can move some, but she can't go from 12/22 to
Peace out.
12/23 or 12/35.
line items in the 30,000s, yes. From like 40,000 to
She's
30.
got 33,750 in here for legal services and contracts, and another 64,500 for software, but she's only got for repair and maintenance 4,000 in there, so after what she talked about, the electrical issues there, she could move money back and forth if something popped
Within
up.
the 3,000, 30,000,
Correct.
she can.
Thank you.
After review of the current expenses, we did decrease the telephone. I believe you were still here for that, so. Yeah, this fund has a very small cash balance projected at the end of 2026. Yeah. If anybody's here curious, this is where your little tax on your cell phone for 911 goes into this fund. Part of it, not all of it. Somebody else gets the rest.
State gets the rest.
Next, we have PSAP 1235. No changes here.
Nope.
Okay, moving, we'll go to public safety, well. Let's get that. We'll be revisiting public safety here in a little bit. Sandy, do you have any questions, concerns? Okay. Coroner's budget, location 7.
Make any changes, right?
No changes, an overall increase of just $169. He's tried to offset the wages. Assessor. Location 10. Per the wage study. Deputies here were adjusted. Peterborough. Moving from Peterborough, the reassessment. 1224. Reassessments outside of county general, yet at the same time, it has its own property tax rate. That we get the pleasure of paying on. Nothing there, we'll move to the courts. Starting in circuit. Made some salary adjustments downward. And we also have Superior Court.
Here's a question, didn't we hire a second security officer last year?
Third,
The third one, I mean,
yes, with the goal of servicing both courts and the front door at the same time.
Two of them are in one court budget, one is in the other court budget.
thank you.
Some wage, excuse me, some wage adjustments also. Need to do 12. CASA. We're gonna skip past CASA this evening and go on to Purdue. Location 20. Jeff did leave, but we made some decreases to supplies within his budgets. Within their budgets. For their budget. Council, any questions? Sheriff. Do you want to move closer so you can see? I'm not making fun of you.
Can I ask anybody else for that? There, you wanna borrow these?
You're basically leaning on Tyler's lap, and so I was trying to save time.
Tim was getting it covered.
I'm good right now.
You good? Okay.
If you don't make it any smaller, I'm good.
We could probably zoom one notch or so.
Big Zoom one watch. Beautiful.
Before we necessarily jump into the deputy discussion, let's go ahead and look at the other line items here. I believe the top two sheriff were looked at in view of expenditures year to date.
Correct.
And so those adjustments were made. The third one for the reserve deputy supplies with the new fund being established, we would, as council, like to see expenditures maybe pull down some of that cash balance. I know you mentioned some revenue changes as well as some goals about getting them in here, but that was the reason for that adjustment currently. We got nothing there. We'll scroll back up to the deputy side. For the record, we've tried to make accurate changes here. They involve several calculations, so we as council and auditor's office will be re-reviewing them, but for discussion's sake tonight, I believe they're close.
Should be,
Should be close.
based on your worksheet.
Based upon my work, they're close, hopefully. Over the years, I'll just, we've had deputies paid it as they come in at different amounts, since there's some new faces in the room. As different sheriffs have been here, there's been different pay rates, different pay increases, there's been some discrepancies. That said, also, there's the issue of when the sheriff currently hires a new hire, even if they have experience and don't cost us the 15,000 academy, and even if we don't know if they're gonna make it through year 1 or 2 before being burnt out. If he hires somebody with 15, 20 years of experience, they get paid exactly what a new deputy gets paid. In light of this, council's been trying to figure out a solution that doesn't necessarily create a big windfall to deputies, but at the same time is a tool for the sheriff to use to attract outside talent and maintain his current officers and incentivize them to continue. That said, after many different conversations, we've decided, I believe the majority of council, to have a deputy, and it doesn't matter if they're a sergeant deputy or even a chief deputy, they have a base rate. From the base rate, the most recent discussion is a sergeant, or then there's years of service, which is $300, which I believe matches a few surrounding areas per year of service that they have. That is law enforcement years of service, not county specific years of service. 10-year guy will get 3,000 extra dollars to the base deputy amount. Now, if they have a rank and responsibility, they will also have a flat amount on top of that deputy years of service pay. The current numbers we are at is $6,000 for sergeant on top of those two other items, and chief deputy, we get $15,000.
Did you change it from 8 to 6?
We did lower it from 8 to 6. With this still, we raised the base overall for first year. Instead of them getting a 2.5% increase, the first year would be getting closer to 3.25,
Yeah,
3.3.
because of the average base right now, that's what we're taking the base to, yes.
Yes, so we took the base to arrive at the base for 2026. We took the average of a non-ranking deputy, then increased it by 2.5%. Since they all don't get paid the same because of previous issues or previous administrations, it came to more likely a 3.25% increase for your guys.
62, what was it?
Oh, 62,385, I think is what I have.
And what I had done, I think I had slightly
It's a
different.
different, you had a different.
Where's that?
62.2, 62.3, somewhere right in there.
I'm not seeing your number on here.
Sorry.
In essence,
62,264.
In essence, Ryan, no one's getting paid less than last year, for sure.
And they're getting more than 2.5% increase. Nobody's getting less than a 2.5% increase.
And with the $300 per year, that's substantial for 20+ years guy. I mean, for 15 years, it builds very quickly.
And just to be clear, because of previous administrations and how people have gotten pay adjustments, if you have 20 years in, not every 20-year guy is going to get a $6,000 raise. Compared to their previous salary, because there are some guys that get different size raises. This is why there's been a lot of
If someone has
calculations.
been there more than 20 years.
There might be an adjustment to this total amount, because I just had to adjust the chief deputy, so.
Okay.
That's
Again-
what you're talking about.
Again, for the record, these amounts aren't necessarily locked in until we pass the salary ordinance in a month and a half, or a month. But we try to get the budget and numbers closed, express what our goal is. And we believe that $300 per year that the auditor is willing to make adjustment on their anniversary date. Is a pretty fair compared to.
And to be clear,
Do whatever.
rank pay, years of service pay are both deducted before the 2.5 or whatever raise is given next year, correct?
Yeah, so going forward, the goal is to always have this deputy line item, deputies get paid this. Then you get your years of service, then you get your rank. I'm not saying that someday it won't become years of service needs adjusted or rank pay needs adjusted. But as it stands, deputies make this years of service rank. Hopefully it'll work out. And we can talk after.
Caps at 20.
Caps at 20, sorry, yes. Caps at
So at year 21, you won't get $300 more. It'll just stay at the 6,000.
Right. And the annual raise, unless council raises the years of service, the annual raise is based only on the base salary.
So again, you're wanting a tool to maybe attract more seasoned officers. And a retention tool for officers that stay longer. The other thing that we've put on the commissioner's list is to review your vacation questions, right? So we want that to be reviewed. Because again, you've got somebody that has a certain amount of vacation and come back, they come out of the sheriff's department, they get 0 vacation. That really stinks, so.
Can I get one clarification?
Yeah.
If he hires somebody, just say from Manchester, that's got 10 years service in, he starts at new deputy pay and it gets 10
Yeah.
Yeah, we're paying for that experience, right?
Right, we're paying for the experience, that's
Finish
what,
your question, Dave.
huh?
Finish your question. What's your question?
My question was, is if you're hiring somebody that's got 10 years of law enforcement experience, and they come in, they start at the base deputy salary. And then if you determine that they have 10 good years of law enforcement, then they get the $3,000 on top of $300 for each 10 years.
Not currently, but with this, yes,
Right,
yes.
okay,
It's an attraction tool.
yeah, that's what we wanted.
Do they have to be good years or just 10
It's
years?
from the military, you used to have, believe it or not, you could actually have a year of service and it not be considered a good year. Believe it or not, I mean, in the army, that's the way it was, you had to have good years, it wasn't. That they were, and they weren't necessarily all good years.
But that wasn't
There was a point system, there's a point system.
but that was not discussed
Yeah,
with
yeah,
this.
no, no, yeah.
That was not
I think that
discussed.
gives discretion if it's a good year.
Okay, years were in there.
That used to roll me down tires.
Does that sound like something that you were looking for?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
definitely, oh, yeah.
And I can get you the real world impact on each individual name.
Yeah.
So you can, as we work through it, to make sure I haven't made an error, because the goal was nobody gets less than 2.5% increase. And implement a new system and fix old sheriff's systems, so.
My head still hurts.
Mine does too.
Off for a little while, but it always does.
We were here till 9:30 last night.
That's true.
Come back.
Next, we have
You know, you're up at 6:45.
location 33 within the general jail.
See, we can make them smile now.
So,
You want to speak to this, Matt?
yeah, on the jail officers, we wanted to implement something similar for years of experience or years of service. Right now, you're not gonna have too many getting that because you don't have too many with too many years of experience.
Sure.
And after I visited your facility this afternoon, I see, well, I mean, not, the facility's not there, but the guy that helped me was kind of not there, but. Yeah, it's like, you can almost hire a robot and do the same service he did, so. So, but so there was, based on the salaries, the wage study, there was a small adjustment in the base salary for your jailers. And then,
Is that reflected yet?
I thought,
I'm waiting for you to tell me that she's gonna.
I thought it was gonna be like where
We,
5139.
We're getting there.
yeah,
We're getting there, we haven't done it yet.
is that?
we haven't put it in here yet, so you're not seeing it, but we are, that's what we decided the other night was.
Okay.
That base wage has to come up based on the salary study that we did.
Yeah.
And then years of service, it'd be similar, 300 for every year of service.
I just saw that rate, and I want to make sure we were.
Yeah, we have to maybe do some math here.
Yeah, I don't have that spreadsheet, so.
That's the right amount, right?
5139.
That's the right, right?
Yeah.
There it is.
And then you,
Yeah. No,
Hold on, she's,
based on what.
Same as the.
because then if you do.
Oh, that's with the raise.
Yeah, yes,
Okay, thank you.
Should be 14.
yeah, so if you take the 1 point,
that's right, that's right.
okay, yeah, so if you take the 1.45 million divided by 29 officers, it should be the
The new base.
new base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck with that tool.
I'll update the side,
We don't.
you know, once we're done. Those were what, the notes submitted, not the notes done.
You said it to me.
Yes, sometime after tomorrow.
Well, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah, partially. Okay, also Sheriff, we looked at the meal expenditures and, I mean, it may be based because the population's down a little bit, but we have decreased that, obviously, for the record. If you need more money to feed the prisoners, we will feed the prisoners. I said it.
Bread and water.
No,
I
said it.
Oh, the company.
Sorry, was that a question?
No, I assume that might happen.
Okay,
I don't know why our population is what it is, but I'm fine with it.
with the current staffing levels, I understand.
It just in general.
Yeah.
Can't make it.
Sheriff did email me about the vehicle outfitting being, it could come from the misdemeanor fund. Prior to me realizing that, also, council had a discussion and desire to. I'm making sure is it in this one? To wait on the vehicle purchase, thank you.
There it is, yeah.
To wait another year for the vehicle purchase,
The van.
the van.
No, right.
A few other adjustments were made.
Just based on expenditures to date.
Sure.
What does he have to do to pay out that comp time? He's got the money in his budget this year.
Policy, yeah.
Come to us, or can he change?
They have to
it?
make the policy.
So an update on the comp time situation, I can't remember what I told you last, but it's in the, it's commissioners are working on getting it fixed here for the month of December. For the month of December meetings, we had the room in the current 2025 budget to get comp time caught up. And then going forward, based upon what they say, I believe will be a max amount of comp time. After that will be overtime.
Did
And-
we
and
did we
definitely-
add some overtime in here? I think.
Yeah, and
We did add some overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, before they finish the policy, obviously it'd be smart to make sure it fits. Have you review it, I just don't want this problem. Yeah. Anything, Nick?
It's not gonna be enough overtime.
We doubled it, didn't we?
Yeah, because they can move from the.
Since it's in the 100 series, we wanted
Can't
to,
remember.
Oh, we can
It's
switch
got
that.
openings that.
Yeah, yeah,
Nobody
okay.
can do it now.
Yeah, he can move that, yep.
but at the same time indicate we realize there's gonna be more overtime.
I would assume there's gonna be a lot. One person.
If there's nothing else there, we'll move to the accident fund.
There's 36,000 at the end of the year.
$11.56 firearms.
We do have to adjust this one, firearm.
We don't know how much is actually benefit yet. The state hasn't given us our,
For the current year?
or this year or next year, they haven't told us.
So we got.
I-
11 in there for 26, but nothing for 25.
I guess. For 26. There's no more. We already got 25, right? Did you get your distribution for this year?
I don't know if we have. I have to check.
While they're reviewing that, we'll, I guess at this time we'll go to the 1170 public safety. Small changes here made here to comply with the contract obligation, we believe. And stay at the same advertised amount. We'll revisit this fund and the auditor's budget also, so I'm gonna move on to the misdemeanor. 1175.
We get the funding for the accident in October
Okay,
of traditionally, it's been, last year, it was 12,000, year before 11, year before 11, year before 11.
so you put in-
But
Yeah.
last year was 12,000, previous years were all 11,000. We get funded in October, the amount for the current year, so we don't. I'm at 1175. I'm getting ready to move to 4204.
The auditor's thing will affect this page, right?
Do what?
The state auditors. Clothing policy on it, that won't affect this page, right?
They're police officers or jail officers,
Okay,
they, by
Correct.
law.
yeah, right.
They have an exception currently.
Okay, that's what I'm just making sure. What about taking their cars home? Is that gonna be taxable?
That's gonna be we're gonna have to look into it, but they're gonna have to do the policy first.
Okay.
But a police officer vehicle, no, that doesn't affect. Those are exempt.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's already the state statute.
4949 commissary. No council adjustments here.
He brings the money up.
Weights and measure, as we're turning there, Sheriff, do you have anything to add or questions, concerns? Or Major again? Or he left.
Go to another meeting and not do this.
Okay. I am finished with you. Thank you for staying.
don't forget to bring us
Additional appropriation,
for next
I
month.
already got it. Same one I had, last time, I got another.
Bring two.
26, location 26, weights and measure. No adjustments.
He measured it.
You measured up. We're gonna move to the county highway funds.
I said that.
Fund 1176, outside of county general. Location 38 first. Poll is here if you have questions. Just as a reminder, due to some adjustments in personnel, we backed the wages down. Historically, we've preferred to.
We didn't raise the superintendent.
We left the superintendent pay the same, we backed down the supervisor pay. We prefer to see a little bit performance-based evaluations before we give significant raises.
I see building repairs increased. Did you have a project that they were gonna do or something, or? Just. Inflation, no.
We took it down.
Huh?
We
Yeah.
reduced.
We did.
Repairs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
After discussion and an adjustment for the telephone that was needed to be more accurately recorded. And still offsetting it, we thought it'd be fair to offset it there with building repairs per coal.
That's still probably not accurate, it'll be less than that. The building repair, Dave, I mean, it does show an increase. I'm guessing there was an adjustment made there last year too. The request last year was probably 25, and then there was an adjustment made to change it to 23 change. That's where, I mean, you are correct, it does show an increase, but the actual request is probably the same, if that makes sense.
Okay,
It's similar to what's happening right here. It'll reflect the actual 2026 budget will reflect the 19.8 instead of the 25 that was requested. I'm guessing the same thing.
Yep. Location 39. Council themselves didn't make any changes here. Location 40. Based upon usage, we did make an adjustment here to the fuel and oil. There's nothing there. We'll move to 1173, the restricted. Again, no changes. Another special fund would be the covered bridges, 1134. Which these amounts probably haven't changed in 10 years also. Maybe they've gone up a little, about the same.
Hey, I do have a question on Rowan Covered Bridge. Since they closed it, do we still have to monitor it? Or are we paying them?
I mean, there's no requirement to do that. You're gonna, the Covered Bridge Association would have some serious concerns with it not being monitored. Like I said, and there's no legal requirement. I mean, the Manchester Covered Bridge does not have monitoring or fire suppression. And they did just treat the Rowan Covered Bridge was just, the entire structure was treated with a fire retardant. So, I mean, that is at your discretion.
I'm just, yeah. I mean, you can see the difference in the cost.
This build over time, this fund, does it keep building or is it not?
Very minimally, the revenue for those covered bridges is minimal.
3,700 a year.
Yeah, the fund's depleting actually, so
Maintaining the fire suppression system, the monitoring is relatively cost intensive. By cheaper than replacing the bridge, should have burned down, but I guess that's also not infrastructure that is essential to the community any longer.
Manchester's still open, so I mean, that's,
Yeah, Pancake Day, that's essential.
they have it on the covered bridge?
Yes.
Oh.
They don't want
Too many
people
people on it, it just got.
Don't want to throw in people falling in the river.
Like, I guess we'll leave it as is, but it does appear that it's slowly depleting, so it may become a necessity either for the Bridge Association to pick up some of that tab or to look at a reduced
Yeah.
service level provided for protection.
I know there's been a couple different things happen to the one in North Manchester, and there's only $500 in here, and you just pay for that out of some other fund,
Commissioners.
like when they run trucks into the thing that says don't drive under here.
Yeah, it's been paid for out of other county highway department funds.
Thank you.
And it's still technically a bridge and it's still on network, essentially it's still being utilized by traffic, so it's within reason to pay for it out of other line items.
Thank you.
Do have a question, when the state restricts the 114 bridge, are you guys gonna close the covered bridge so there's not a workaround?
That would absolutely be my recommendation, and we've done that as there have been lane closures here recently, as they've prepared for that state bridge project. We've closed it for the duration of those closures or lane restrictions, and I would highly recommend that continue, and that bridge will not tolerate that increased traffic.
Right, that's what I'm asking, I just wanna make sure, I mean,
And basically, they had to take dump trucks up there because actually one of the town council members took one of the plastic barricades and drug it out of the way because she didn't think it needed to be closed.
Let's hire her for county engineer.
Long term, that bridge is gonna end up in the same situation as the road covered bridge, most likely it's gonna become not cost effective to continue to build traffic realistically. But we are replacing Bridge 652 with Market Street over the Eel River in Manchester, so there will be adequate other infrastructure at that time.
June Bridge, 1135.
The big history.
No council adjustments here. Local road and street, 1169.
And we did adjust the right of way maintenance, reduced it by 65,000. We've had some issues with them spraying and having crop damage with the right of ways, so we're going to have a conversation with that company to figure out where they're gonna spray and where they're not gonna spray to reduce that damage.
What did we cut it?
Huh?
65,000.
65,000. Basically enough that we could still do some mowing, but the spraying needs to be under advisement.
Other than the guardrail spread.
Yeah, guardrail spraying still.
Correct.
Cole, do you have anything else for us?
Some of the wage changes, I would probably, I mean, I'd like to speak to you guys about, but being that it would be.
We are recorded right now.
Right, it's, I
Okay.
mean, it would be a personnel issue, so it's probably not appropriate to discuss in this.
Environment, okay. Council knows as well as commissioners, we can hold executive sessions to discuss wage provisions
And personnel issues.
and personnel issues, yes. And your cell phone will be the same going forward, even though you're sure, oh boy.
I have
Okay. You have a new number, okay.
it. Share.
Send it in.
I was saying a little sarcastically, but now I'm about to ask, so. Cole's been a great asset to the county while he's been here, but we understand the reasons for change. EMA is next. Patient 31. Keith did not make any changes besides wage changes to his budgets. We'll go ahead and scroll through them though. There's the location 31 here, the right to know, 1152. And that has volunteer support. 4951. Okay, moving along. Health department.
Do we look at repair and maintenance
In which one?
in EMA?
Volunteer support. Left
The
4951,
main one.
or the main one.
Hang on a second, it's 30002.
That's the main.
It's the same number in the other one too.
Which phone are you looking at, Dave?
$7,000, $7,150.
Yeah. He's got 5415 left. Just pointing it out.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything one way or the other, I'm just saying.
Let's look at the. Let's look at the overall, the 14,225, because it's all 30,000. So the 30,000 line, it's a 30,000 line item, so everything in there can be shifted around. And if we look at the full balance instead of single line items, I think that might tell us if he's moving stuff around here and there.
No, he hasn't.
No.
So yes, Dave, I agree. One of the discussions we've had about maybe the number of vehicles EMA has or the quality of vehicles. I guess I'm okay leaving that amount in there currently, but it's something I believe the commissioners are gonna visit.
Okay.
As we separately track auto liability and insurance, it's gone up quite a bit because of the vehicle count,
Okay.
not just on EMA, but
There's 6 or 7. I know for sure 6, I'm not sure what happened to the county highway truck, if it's still here or no.
Cole, you don't have that truck?
I do not know the current status of the truck with the county and inherited from my department.
Okay.
I know are several, I mean, I guess no one had relayed to me that the count of vehicles and the insurance was. I mean, a factor in that increase of rate. There are several highway department vehicles that probably could be removed from the fleet at this point in time. We've added several new dump trucks over the last few years and kind of kept some of the bottom tier vehicles in service. wouldn't have to be that way. I mean, if there's costs other than maintenance and fuel that we're seeing there, that's something that could be reduced.
I may leave it well with the new superintendent as well as the commissioners, but also for them to review and make sure those, even though they're used by us, not great shape for the highway department, they may plug in somewhere else where people. You know, or we get rid of them,
The block covered bridges.
park them in front of the bridge.
And those were primarily, I mean, that's talking dump trucks, not, I
Oh.
mean, we don't necessarily.
Park them in front of the
surplus of Pickups and those are good. Again, like I said, just repurpose those to be used more instead of driving around in dump trucks. We're utilizing a few more pickups to not be driving around in dump trucks, it's not necessary.
For pothole filling, I've seen them with the flatbeds and things, yes. Moving to health. 1159 is the first one.
I guess this is a budget I would concur with Mr. Dillon that we can't trust the state always because the health structure changed 2 years ago. It's supposed to be this great thing and now they've pulled the rug out from underneath us.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be a very difficult year next year, and I think the year after that, it's even gonna be worse. So,
Yeah.
I see that you cut the salary, we could do the benefits on there too.
Oh, yeah.
If you
Yeah,
wanted
you,
to,
yeah, better
the
do that.
perf and the,
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we should do that.
yeah, you know what the math is.
do we need to have this 5,000 in there for unemployment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we always have
We've
to pay
already,
that no matter what,
Okay,
yeah.
even if there is one person receiving this. Because of, yeah.
They don't have high experience rate, so.
Yes, so to Matt's point, the state cut funding for the health department. We had to make a tough decision to eliminate a role.
After they've already proactively eliminated one other role too.
Yes, so something we don't enjoy doing by any means. It's both doing this at this point will allow that individual to seek another place of employment. We also have a position that if she chooses to go into, she can have that as well. So we're not trying to be jerks up here. We're trying to do what's right for the county here.
They felt like they had the cash balance to handle that person for another year, but I think that would have depleted their funds well beyond reason. And it would have really hurt them next year beyond reconciliation. Going forward, depleted them even further, so I think this is probably one of those things you just have to. You have to do this you have to make this hard choice and then move forward.
Well, they're making some of those adjustments. If there's nothing further here, we'll go to 1161. You're good. Okay. This is the new fund. And with the state cuts, the health board made sizable cuts to this budget for the year.
does Mr. France represent them?
I think we asked.
He didn't used to, but I don't know if he does now.
So he doesn't fall under the counties. We hired Mr. France for the county for planning commission, BZA. Us, I think, commissioners.
Last time I knew it was Mr. Thrush.
Yeah,
I think they have used Mark.
Just so he's-
So maybe.
In my understanding is it's billable time, so it's not a
Okay,
retainer type setup. As needed, they use him or use somebody. there was some issues there in the past.
They needed their own attorney.
Local health maintenance, 1168.
Sure, it's still. Found it, voice, it's on me.
You can tell we're running on fund.
Yeah.
This one is a legacy fund, no longer currently funded by the state. So it's been going away slowly and it is pretty much gone away after 2026. Same goes for the next two funds. We'll go to 1206. And lastly, the accreditation one,
It's not funding that one.
8850.
We're gonna use the rest of this year.
Okay. Any questions there, or is anybody, do we have a Zoom link active?
We do.
Is anybody from the health board there? Is Rich
No.
on?
Well, there's a Dean Goldberry. I don't know who that is. Brenda and
Is that your
mine.
volleyball? Say that again.
Dean Goldberry?
Watch that. Sure he doesn't post anything on the internet.
I think I fixed that.
We'll move to location 2. I'm county auditor. There's been some adjustments here per the wage study.
Those are the deputies, weren't they?
Deputies and payrolls. And pay, counts by AP. Questions from council or comments from the auditors?
Pardon, I wasn't listening.
Just your budget,
Yeah.
just your
Oh, I'm
budget.
sorry.
Just teasing. I know you're working. We just covered the wage
Oh.
changes per the wage study
Oh,
is all. Nothing there. We'll go to public safety. Since it hasn't been stated in the meeting yet, the part of the bond payment is here for the jail. It's a semi-annual payment, split typically between two funds. Try to keep a little reserve in these funds for bond payments specifically, but. So you'll see the line item there of 1.331. Next, we'll go to rainy day. Moving from that one to riverboat. It was discussed yesterday, we pay some of our,
Vacation pads. No.
state
sometimes it's
exam
records.
records, sorry, I was losing my thought. Exam records out of here,
Audits.
audits out of here, they get reimbursed. Mostly.
When we run out of money in the general fund, we have to go over here,
In that line item.
you know.
1193 sheriff pension. The fund 1216. Revenues are based when there's inaccuracies on statements and we get them resolved, it goes into this fund.
Exemptions.
on exemptions specifically. And it was identified at meetings that 10,000 is more than enough for the carpet, so we're gonna look at using it for some other maintenance items within the county. Elected official, 1217. No council changes here, we'll move to the jail lit, 1233. As you can see, the second half of the bond payment comes for 2026, comes out of here. Or first half, I don't know which one. A half.
It's exactly what the thing said.
Next, we'll go to the opioid restricted funds. I believe that covers all the funds in my list. If you could go to see where we're at in summary right now.
It's currently on option, can you make it smaller, just please? It's on option number 1, which is leaving the 2.5 in the general fund. And needing to cut 1.2.
This typically when we open the floor to the auditor to make sure we haven't missed some options or notes. Is there anything you'd like to address? Or Mr. Mize has some?
Right. When you looked at the economic development fund, you moved 400 out of the sewer project. If you needed to lower some items from the general fund, you could move 400 into that fund.
Liability insurance?
What would be the total for liability insurance? Or John,
It's 650.
so we would need to move exactly to 400 though.
Yeah,
Okay. What's council?
because we can only fund what we advertise.
advertised? What's council's thoughts about that for this year?
For liability.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, the liability insurance is for all the departments, right?
It's for the county's share. The tax rated funds also have
Oh, share.
a share of the insurance.
As well as
Highway department.
highway department.
Yeah, they have their same.
Highways.
Huh?
Sure.
The
that's
highway,
it. And
the
they're-
highway helps. Probation helps. Health department helps.
That was why I asked the question, they saw it under the highway department.
They have a piece, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like a tax rated fund.
And
They're
then,
like a different bucket within the max levy. Is that right?
Or fuel tax fund.
they get their money from the state. And the other thing you could do is, we have building repairs in the courthouse complex for 80,000, and there's, the riverboat is 80,000, if you needed to move 80,000.
What's the cash balance from Riverboat?
152.
As of today, it's 221,140.
Oh, that's, yeah.
So it can sustain some
Use.
use. What's council feel?
Yeah.
Mr. Dillon likes the idea.
I don't think the riverboats are bringing in as much as they used to.
No, they sure aren't.
No. Do you want us to make those two?
Yeah, go ahead and make those two changes, please.
It's in the number 29.
I think there was the news the other night, and Las Vegas is complaining that their visitors are way, way down too.
Alright.
So guys, we take things to 20 check.
We do 400. You're right.
Like, we usually train 100 maybe.
Also take a moment here is the auditors talked to me that there's some issues with the state necessarily giving us firm numbers on a few of the values that we need to know to determine our budget.
I'm sorry.
I know,
listening. Look at
You,
that.
we discussed, there's some issue with the state giving us exactly firm numbers on what we need at
I'm
this
not
point.
sure about how SB1 is, it hasn't shook out how it's gonna affect our CNAPs all the way,
For 2026 even.
yes. For the budgets.
So in the coming month or two, there may be some needed adjustments here. Do you think? Yeah, it's a.
I mean, DLGF's gonna have to give us guidance, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna, I think. we'll
They've given
get
us
this-
our max levy.
Yeah,
Come on. Yeah. Talk to your representatives and your senators. They're
yes,
just
please.
state level.
So that's said with the auditor. Would you, what number would you advise currently to be above our cut required number?
Would be above 60.
Really, that much?
When I was talking to Kyle, the other Kyle,
Okay, I was like,
budget rep Kyle,
That DLGF?
at DLGF, yeah.
so it was expressed up here and I just, that there may be as big of a spread of $600,000 here that we do not know about. So we were advised to leave that amount in there by our DLGF budget representative until they figure things out.
I'll help you cut it. So as long as we know where we're gonna cut it, if, I don't think we have to.
Just for the public, we always over budget because the state in their final calculations sometimes say, oh, no, well, we said this was your number's actually a little higher and you're still under it. If we do go over that number after they recalculate it, though, we do have to come back and make cuts. So we try to identify those places that we could do that tonight. If that happens, then we know where it's coming out of.
If, where are those places?
Yet to be determined this evening, Dave.
Wars of the court is usually one of them. Right.
And is that still at the full number?
No, you get reduced it. I think
Yeah, it's gonna
250.
reduce a little bit.
I think you reduced it 250 and we're got 200,000 to get to 600.
Because I don't think we had any other honey holes, right?
No. I think we,
What are we paying for out of Riverboat? The 80,000? You moving it or so moving it or?
Work study,
Huh?
the work study. Thank you, so.
Another,
No, audit fees,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
because we're gonna pay out over 120,000 in audit fees this year.
another option that has been used in previous years is to remove a general fund line item. We can't place it anywhere currently because we've tried to meet the advertised amounts in certain ones. But then to additionally appropriate that out of, well, they had eat it up here right now, so I'll just use eat it. Ones that have a cash balance can sustain a $300,000 expense.
Right.
Like city ambulance fee.
City Bamberlin.
We can't take it out of the ambulance, are you talking about cutting?
No, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to understand, Joel, I've been trying to listen to state level too, to try to understand what they were getting at with this SB1. Is lit going to change, and because like the schools aren't gonna get lit anymore, will the lit amount for the county, if you leave it the rate it is now, will it increase your revenue?
If we enact as we are told now, if we enact the max amount the county lit rate can be, and I can't remember if it's 1.2 or 1.25. Our revenues for lit would be very similar. Maybe a slight amount higher, but not a windfall or not a detriment
And
necessarily.
now how did they end up leaving it at the state level? Does the council make the decision about how the lit is divided among the state tax or the county taxing units?
We have been told currently that we get
Yes.
final
and-
approval.
And we wanna be cooperative. We don't wanna see one other taxing agency lose half their budget. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be that way, but, I mean, again, we're one county and, the city, Rowan, Manchester, LaGrove,
But Wabash and Manchester could do their.
they
own.
can do their own, yes.
But I
But
believe
they're the only
correct,
two.
they can do their own, but I thought we still got final approval of their rates.
There's some mix in that they can't go above a certain amount without us agreeing to it. It's, again, they're just mixing it up, I think, to mix it up. I
And
don't
we've
get
been
it.
told several different things, so
Yeah.
we don't quite wanna commit to it. But your original question, county lit income will be very similar, if not the same. That said, we expect our property revenues to go, real estate property income to go down. So that is of concern. So there's
Another concern that what the schools are losing, they're gonna come to us for.
there is a chance that schools participate currently in income taxes and they will not participate in the future. And if they don't have the real estate tax base or rates or growth to, yes, they'll either have to make cuts or ask for assistance.
And it's not like that money is coming to us. That's the problem, right? I mean, and the push from the state is to reduce taxes for taxpayers. I get that. I wanna reduce taxes also, but at some point, you have to have the school. You have to have the sheriff's department. You have to have, I mean, it's just, I don't get. I mean, they're doing a complete overhaul of the taxing system. I would have been more for incremental changes and
Right, and
That's what option one.
seeking input from everybody.
we attended a policy analytics presentation and actually within by 2030, residences in Wabash MSD district will be paying possibly more, because of all the fluctuation in the 2 million exemption.
What are we currently? 2.5.
Well, Bates said everybody by 2027 is gonna hit their property tax caps. So we're gonna lose there, plus the schools lost, so, and then they changed all the rules on operating referendums for the schools. So, things are gonna get squeaky.
And I don't get that. I mean, I do a lot of tax work and I don't have a lot of clients that complain about their state tax levels. Federal certainly, but the state and
Cause they
county.
dump all their taxes on us, fix for them, and they collect them all.
Yeah, so I just don't get it. Did you? Okay, Nick did.
Nick did it.
But when you're in the poop business, you got a lot of money.
Shelley, did we move something else? Cause my numbers are.
We moved 480 just now.
From liability insurance to edit.
Right, but why'd that go from 1.2 down to 300? By moving 480?
Did you guys do something else?
We didn't touch
You
it.
didn't touch it.
No, we did.
We did
right
AD.
here and there,
Okay.
Just click undo a few times, you'll see. I mean, if you can go back forward.
okay. So that was the 8. Here's the folder. Thank you. I'll go back in the week though.
Well, he's looking for the 1.2 change. So. Yeah, I think you're there.
At this point.
As long as you're not watching the numbers.
Eighty's back in the channel.
Okay, so just go forward.
Just.
What's
Yeah,
that?
check the test.
We're 80.
Get the wrong box over here.
Aggressive
Maybe we looked at. It's
option,
the most
Are
aggressive.
we in the right option there?
it's the most aggressive.
Yeah.
Option one.
Okay. You were doing two, right? No.
Yeah,
No,
we're in the-
doing one. Option one.
See, 2287. That's our option, we're in 2287. We're in option one right now.
So we go back forward yet?
No.
Yeah, go ahead and go back forward to that 300,000 number if you would,
Yeah.
please.
Look
Yeah,
away.
but just click away and so.
Click away.
Click
The arrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
increase wood to cool, what we took out of it.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we'll
Is
get-
that even? It's fine.
Where were we last year? Were we around? Were we around
You
400?
know, we weren't that much over, cause it was getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
But this year they're saying the numbers can be
Say
higher.
some words.
No, I'm talking where was our target last
We
year?
were like,
Was that 100?
yeah, 107, 105. I mean,
Yeah,
and then we came in still under by just a hair.
just in here, yeah.
So,
What was the number? I couldn't read it.
4 or 3 something, now it's. Is it 829? Oh, you did,
There we go.
what happened? Didn't we just only add 250 back? It was 3 something and now it's.
There's something. Cause my math
Go back.
is not tracking.
Back to the numbers.
No, go back to your sheet, your main sheet, or number whatever. See right there, it's saying 329, right?
Yes.
That's 250 to that, that's 679. Or 250 or 350 wasn't
250.
It was like,
it? So it'd be 579. The other way. The math is a mess.
Well, that's what, we went from 1.2 and I took 480 out.
As they work on that, I mean,
We went down to 3.
I know it's like try to work on a computer when everybody's watching. Does anybody have?
yeah,
No pressure. The commissioners have anything at this point to add?
Did we add anything to your list this evening? Or was it?
We're gonna need that sheet of paper.
You have to initially approve
I
it.
got a lot of red ink. So,
That's a good
but
thing.
Yeah. Do any of the department heads have anything? Or anybody in attendance actually?
Checking the formulas, sorry.
No, you're fine. Could you, go ahead
I'm not
and,
watching.
go ahead and go back and remove the rewards of court deductions, so I can do the math between what this effective change is, and then I can maybe able to work backwards. I guess. Add the 250 back in, see what it changes. It looks like it.
Doesn't matter.
It back, okay, now go to the bottom cuts.
So how much did it have,
That was a $500,000 change, so somehow it's double dipping counting it.
So.
I sent you that worksheet.
Yeah.
Can you look and see what line that is?
We need to.
I don't see a number in there twice. I want my keyboard, like, have a.
Yeah.
There was two council. Did you subtract 300,000 twice?
For 250 off.
Scroll one more.
7.
Scroll one more.
I didn't know that's what you said. 5
So it's exactly.
It's exactly double.
Double that.
It is, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm a,
Yeah.
just double counting that somewhere.
What's the amount for this off?
So when we decrease wards, you find it?
He said I didn't do it.
When we decrease wards court 250,000, it effectively decreases at 500,000, so we know that somehow the formulas are double counting that cell. With the interplay of all the formulas, though, it's hard to know. We're trying to isolate where exactly it is.
Compare that total. It was between over 1.
So what's the court just double counting?
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at. It would happen here. Yeah. The totals, see what it's.
They're mine, I guess, I forget it. Yeah. You're laced. I hope so.
It is.
It's courthouse complex, I think, something like that is the total. The total subtractions less on the bottom than it is at the 30,000 level. But that would, yeah, well, See what I'm saying? In mind, but I don't know. Yours.
But it's like,
Well,
Maybe, which one are we doing?
my belief here for those in attendance is that
it's a formula.
it's a formula thing, but then within regards of making I think we're at the point where we've made the required cuts till the state updates us on the income and numbers. As they isolate what the formula issue is, it'll probably just be here in the next 5, 10, 15 minutes. We'll get awards of accord adjustment to reflect that. So if you need to go home, want to go home, feel free. Unless council thinks there's gonna be other adjustments, but I don't believe myself at
No,
this point.
get that 589 number, I'm okay.
I think that's all.
So. And that's awkward just to walk out in the middle, but I'm fine. I understand. I understand.
Unplug installation solution. So.
Now they're on 124, right outside the farm we farm. So 124 and 300 east. That is cool, actually. That was a
See each other in sync.
Now I gave you some. You'll be on the way.
I'm assuming they. Next to Bill. Yeah. He says. Yes. I said, I'll grab you. His family, and I know that was starting to drain on him. Can't do it.